Hey everybody, I'm Dave. Welcome to Masks and Neighbourhood and issue 6, the final issue in this volume. Our heroes, I think the comic ball is called Sparky and the Gridlock Guardians because Sparky tests way better with audiences than the rest of these reprobates. They are here to save Tri-Town from what's left of the 5 families that they've been pecking away at over the last 6 issues of this comic. We are playing on the Gauntlet. You can find it at gauntletrpg.com. You're using the Gauntlet's inclusivity policy, so we are being nice and decent to each other. We are using safety and support tools in our game. We're using the X card, we are using lines and veils, and script change. We start each session before we record with just a review of our lines and veils to make sure nothing has come up in a previous session. This session, there will be quite a bit going on, but then a wrap up and a wrap down with stars and wishes at the end of the session. But we will be seeing these characters again in volume 2 in the autumn. So, with no further ado, at the back of last issue's comic, I set up some stingers, but effectively the power station gave Tri-Town the majority of its power. There was an explosion. The entire neighborhood has gone into blackout. That's spreading across the city. Something bad has happened. As the lights go out, all the civilians giving light down on the streets are things like car lights, people with flashlights, but it is dark. It is very dark down there, and that's when all hell starts breaking loose. Other explosions elsewhere, firefights going off, and the Tri-Town Gridlock Guardians were standing on top of a rooftop after talking about their feelings, but enough of talking about feelings. It's time for action. The city and your neighborhood is in peril. Who acts first, and what do you do?
I pull out the file that we have marked Blackout. I'm basically pulling the file out and going, shit, getting a torch and basically trying to skim read it to see if I can pick up the major points.
Do you want to assess that situation then, Oriflam?
I do. I will roll comprehend. As my English teacher always warned me, this will be my downfall. Which page is the dice roller on again?
Oh, it's in the safety support. It's already in the chat tool, though. I put a link in. If you look at the chat, you should see it there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Got it. So it that goes off superior, doesn't it?
It does.
That's a 7.
Okay, so you can ask one question from the assess situation list as a guide, or you can ask another question if you have something that comes to mind within
the. What year is in the greatest danger?
The file puts a specific set of takedown targets, and we can see it references known associates of the Grey Ghost as high takedown targets. After what you found out last time, that may put suspicion or fear into your mind. You are aware of what happened off panel back of last time and realize that your loved ones, for those of you who are connected to the Grey Ghost, are definitely in danger.
Shit, they're going after our parents. I'm basically gonna pass it to Jem. Do you know what's your father's telephone number?
She whips out her own phone. I don't know. I have it saved though. Speed dial.
Well, in that case, Robbie Bodges answers the phone and he says, "Jem, please come back. I'm so sorry I've let you down."
Robbie, we don't have time for this. Somebody's coming. You need to get everyone out of there.
He says, "Out of where? The bookshop? What about the house? Oh God, I'll get Mike out of here. Can you get to the house fast?
Yeah, I can try this. Blackout is kind of my thing. Shadows everywhere.
Supervillains suddenly realize that probably putting a blackout around a superhero that is shadow powered was not probably the smartest moment, but we'll deal with that in the epilogue. Whose plan was this anyway? But that is yeah, he says, so I will get Mike out. We will protect the shop. Get to your mother and sister.
Yeah, Jem's just going to shut the phone and not respond. And just be like, gotta go, guys.
I'll go with.
keep you guys posted. You'll come with.
I'll go with you, so that we should not split into too many directions. So I'll try to catch up.
Yeah. All right.
How are you guys getting there?
Oh, I'm going to teleport through the shadows.
You can do that?
Well, I kind of become the shadows, so I figure I could probably, I don't know how that works, but
God, there's so much we don't know about your powers. Okay.
I'll go bow and rope.
And what about
That's
your mom,
standard way.
Oriflamme? I thought she was in their pockets, but I guess they're coming after her anyways.
There's more important things than my mother at the moment. We got to get this to the captain. I hold up the blackout document. They're going to have to coordinate a response. They need to know what's going on.
So tempted to do use my influence and be like, but it's your mom, your family.
Do it! It's a superhero conflict that we've been waiting for.
You're going to leave your mom all by herself?
No, I'm going to drop the document. It's the house of someone who hate me and then go save my mum.
Listen, I can do the document. You go look after your mother.
We're spreading ourselves too thin.
Yeah, well, time to be big damn heroes, right?
Are you provoking him, or is he?
Let's provoke him. Why not?
Okay, we could use the team.
The team. Yes.
And
so do I have to roll for provoke?
You, if you're gonna, because he could potentially get team out of it. So roll with your superior.
Yep. That is 11.
I'll hand over the document and thank you. I've got to get going, and I'll zip line down to a set of parked cars, smash one of the windows, hop in and hotwire it, and drive off.
Dynamics like. I hope no one ever sees us do that.
Yeah, Quiver's got to use some of his cash to buy people like spider chopters and bikes, right?
I think for the Quiver it's kind of funny because Quiver just waits for Sparky and he says, "Come on, Sparky, jump up!" And we see Sparky jump on back of Quiver and he's like a support over there, some harness, and he shoots the bow and he goes off and he swings on the rope with the Sparky on his back.
Cool. Right. So, Nox, you're heading to your home. Quiver, where were you heading?
I was heading after Nox, but I'm thinking, does Quiver know where barges live? So he hopes to follow the shadows. I'm not sure how it works.
I'm sure if you are, we could say that you were given the address rather than spending your entire session wandering around.
I've given comm links out to everyone so we can talk to each other.
I mean, could we say that Nox can bring Quiver with her?
If he rolls and unleash his power, yeah. Sorry. So if you want to teleport yourself and Quiver, Nox, you need to unleash your power for your impossible mobility.
Cool beans. What is that using again? Is that?
It is using Freak.
I feel like I have. Yeah.
I totally see this panel that the Quiver starts as he describes, and then some blackness portal opens as he's swinging the rope and gone.
I think that I'm gonna go ahead and use my mask move and
Sure.
switch my stats. Blink. So that's a 13.
Cool. Well, that's a complete success. So do you want to describe what it looks like?
Yeah. So I think that I think that we do see this kind of like black hole kind of like begin to take form around like underneath Cyrus, and then it kind of just like drops out from under him. And then as that happens, I think that Nox kind of like their body kind of like dissolves into the shadows, and then we kind of see like kind of like how the Flash is portrayed, like when they're like zooming through the city, but like shadows, and that's how we see Nox moving through.
Okay. Awesome. Let's turn the page on that a moment, and we will see you, Dynamic. You are going to Precinct 23 to see Captain Billingsby. Is that the plan?
That is the plan, yeah. I'm going to see Billingsby, and then I'm going to go see who I can hit, electrocute, or anything else to bring the lights back on in this part of town.
Okay, Precinct 23 is under siege as we see you looking down at it. It is the police are in a firefight with what appear to be some of the professor's goons. They're wearing sort of the red masks and suits that would be indicative of his crew.
Well,
Billingsby
I mean,
is at front, but pinned down.
well, I'd like to take on these goons.
Describe what you're trying to do, because whether this is a directly engage a threat or unleash your powers, it probably depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, I think
own playbooks.
I feel like it said directly engage a threat. I mean, flavored with my powers, but not any sort of like elaborate kind of like pull all their guns out of their hands at once kind of thing. More like fire lightning, dodge bullet, catch bullets, smack them around the face with the what's it called? Manhole grids. Manhole thing.
Are you recording?
Yes, I am recording. Yeah.
Because that means you can use stage fight instead of directly engaging a threat.
Yeah, I will use stage fight because I don't have any conditions mapped. And I think Angaroo would be a good one to have at the moment.
Okay. Let's roll to see how this goes.
That is a 10 plus.
On a 10 plus, you choose 2 from the list to directly engage a threat. Resist, revive their bows, take something from them, create an opportunity, or impress or frighten the opposition.
I think I will avoid their blows, and I will frighten the opposition, because I think I managed to take out some guy with like an assault rifle who was pinning down like the SWAT team who couldn't get around the side of the building or whatever, right? Like open up so where before they had the guys pinned down, now they're the police have got an opening to turn the tables a bit.
Cool. They weren't. Well, maybe they weren't, but you blasting in and being there all of a sudden, that does divide their attention, and some of them are now shooting up past you. What does it look like that their shots don't hit you?
I think they just all like they come in so close, but they like just wicker away at the very last second, like just like millimeters away from his skin. And so like the car that he stood in front of like just quickly has like like an outline of dynamic and bullet holes and splintered glass and things around him.
You can see that whoever's in the guy who's wearing this red mask is in charge of the attack team. He's going like, "Damn, we weren't expecting interference from them. We thought they'd be pinned down with their families." Said, "Okay, we're going to have to accelerate this. Switch it on." And in the back of the van that they are sort of more of a they attacked from, you can see someone switches a device on and a timer is starting to count down. It looks like a big bomb. Let's flip the page to the courthouse. It's not before midnight. Your mum will be nowhere else other than the courthouse. That's where she's always been, even you were a child. And you can see as you arrive, Oriflame, that the doors have been broken in on the courthouse, and there are injured or dead security guards just beyond the door.
Okay. Are there any goons outside?
Not outside, no.
No. So I think the car that I stole is currently covered with bullet holes, missing the top half of it, and the back of it's on fire.
Cool.
I very much driven it as if I've stolen it. So it's a case of pulling up, jumping out, and running in and stopping to check the guards.
Okay. One is dead. One is seriously injured. But everything around you is like total blackness.
What happened?
He gasps and says, "Look, they came through the door. I said they don't know what they're after. Headed in the direction of the judge's chambers."
How many?
I said, "It's 4 of them."
Okay. Get yourself to safety. I'll take care of them. And I'm going to go down the. I think I've been in the courthouse beforehand. Before I've been to my mother's office. I know the general layout from back before we broke up and all the family drama happened.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to head down there, and I'm basically going to be listening the entire time and scanning to try and pick up people with my tech.
As you're sort of heading away from the guard, he says, "You'll take care of them? I thought you were working with them."
Never. I'm a goddamn hero.
Okay, so you are trying to scan and get the hand on them, and that feels to me like you're trying to assess the situation as
Yes.
Jem is attacked by a shadowy black cat.
And that'll be an 11.
You can ask 2 questions from the assess the situation is.
Okay. What here is the biggest threat?
As you sort of scan through the building, there's 2 guards, 2 goons outside. There are 2 goons inside with your mother out, and the professor is in there. So the professor is the biggest threat.
Okay. And how could we best end this quickly?
You're pretty sure that if you took the professor out, the others would flee. Or if you got your mother out, then that would diffuse the situation and you wouldn't have to necessarily fight them. So you can either take someone out or you can spirit your mother away. Either will stop this.
Okay. So I think as I get up around the corner, as I get up to the corner, I'm going to pull out a smoke grenade using my gadget. Using the fact that I'm a gadgeteer, I'm basically going to throw some smoke grenades down so we actually can obscure the sight lines.
Okay. Excuse me. So right, that would be an unleash of your power to change your environment. Do remember you take +1 forward on this because you're acting on one of the answers from your assessed situation.
Okay. So I just need to check my stats because I don't normally do a lot of unleashing my powers.
Your freak is 0.
Okay, so that's an 8.
Cool. So is you going to mark a condition, or am I going to tell you that the effect is unstable or temporary?
You're going to tell me if the effect's unstable or temporary.
The smoke grenade goes off. As it does, you can see the goons inside are affixing, or you can sort of see. The professor says, "Switch on your night vision goggles," and you can see his eyes glitter red already. But the others, it's temporary because they're going to have you're going to have scant seconds before they can see you in the dark through the smoke.
Okay. So,
Hold on. You've got hopeless marked, which is a -2 on your
So that would become a 6.
That will become a
so
6.
That's a failure.
Yes, unless you want to spend a point of team.
Oh, nope. I'm happy to have that failure.
Cool. So I'm going to script change that as the smoke goes off and Oriflame comes in, believing they've got the upper hand, and then all of them have got night vision sensors on because they were already prepped for dealing with the dark. So as you come in, thinking you're about to sneak through, you find that the professor turns around, points their umbrella at you, and there is a big bang as it goes off. So please take a powerful blow.
Okay. So that's an 8.
Is that including your +1 for your
That's
current condition?
That's including the +1.
Cool.
Yes.
So at 7 to 9, you choose one from the list. You lash out verbally, provoking a teammate. Not one there. You give ground, or you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
I think I'm going to give ground. I think there's a bang, and I think it does hit me, but it's not it's a flesh wound more than a telling one.
You've been hit by something that feels and looks just like one of those big darts that would be fired into elephants, and you can feel something injecting into your blood, whilst the professor goes, Oriflame, pleasure to meet you. If you wouldn't mind just dying.
It's gonna take a lot more than a blowgun to do that to me, but can I ask something? And I'll stagger back and sit on the floor, and are you really that stupid?
Said, no, but I'm very good at pushing buttons, and the opportunity takes as he sort of pushes out, he waves a finger, and you can see your mother sort of standing there behind the desk. There is a bang, and you can sort of see she is shot and falls down to the ground. I'm going to give you a moment to react to that, and I'm going to flip the page. We are outside the Barges household in a similar environment. The door has been broken in. There is nothing but darkness on this street. No street lights, no car lights. It is pitch dark. There's a slight fog, and we're looking up almost Exorcist style at this house as Nox and Quiver appear. How do you react, Quiver, to being suddenly teleported through the shadowy abyssal world that Nox occasionally inhabits?
I think it's slightly comic because he's screaming inside, but it's like, ooh! Okay, I think I'm out. Ooh! That was scary.
Yeah, Sparky looks quizzical, as if it doesn't quite understand what has gone on. But Jem, you're outside your family house. What are you going to do?
I think that I'm going to probably take a look around, see if anybody is like there currently or inside of that house that doesn't belong there.
That sounds to me like you are assessing the situation, which you roll with superior.
Yeah. Mhm. That's a 6. Oh, wait,
Oh,
superior?
I would definitely
Superior, yeah.
like to help with that.
Oh, 7, 5, 6, 7.
So
That's an
superior's
8
1.
then.
That's an 8. Cool. Okay. So no need for help on that one. But what we, yes, as your sort of shadowy senses extend, much the same as in the courthouse, there are people in. You sort of possibly see you sort of linking and looking out of the windows. There are people in here doing full. They're in fancy Italian suits, wearing goggles, and they have weapons with laser sights on them. So they are slowly quartering the house. You sort of check round as you sort of moving around the house, and you think that your sister and your mother will have gone to ground in your father's study, because that has got a heavy locked door.
Yeah.
So you asked me two. You can ask me two. Two questions off your assess the situation. No, one. Sorry, because you're 7 to 9.
Yeah. All right. Let me get those questions. Okay. Who here is most vulnerable to me?
You think they would be more vulnerable? They're probably armed for you, right? They're looking, and they are skilled, and they're looking for you. They're wearing those heat tracing goggles. So that, if you were to take care of those, that would be vulnerable. They don't really seem to be kitted out looking for quiver. So they're vulnerable on the goggles, and they are probably increasingly vulnerable that they're not really ready for quiver and his trick arrows.
Okay. Yeah, I think Nox is probably going to turn to Quiver and say, I don't know that my powers are going to be much help right now. They have, I guess, some kind of tracing goggles that can, I'm assuming, follow my movements. But if you were to, I don't know, somehow be able to take out those goggles, I think that we could be in business.
Yeah, sure. And of course, and I think we will see Quiver takes an arrow, and he attaches a little bit something that is already sparking with electricity, and yeah, I think he's going to aim it at the front door, which are kicked in, and shoot the arrow inside, hoping it's a small range EMP pulse to take out whatever else is there to take out, so like goggles and stuff.
Cool. Well, it would be an unleash your powers to take that. Wait, see. No, it would be a directly engage the threat, because you're going to try and take that sight from him.
Sure. Yes. Let's get roll. I think it's called box cards.
6.
Yeah.
Right. So you can do 2 on a 6.
I'm not usually using this move, so I'm looking at the options.
Uh,
Yeah, so I'm going to. So I think after firing the arrow, Quiver says, "But I can do much more than that. Come on, Sparky!" And we see Sparky run in, and then Quiver runs in, like shoulder smashes one of the guy, shoots the arrow at the other dude like in the air, full Legolas style. And I'm going to take something from them, meaning their sight, and create and frighten the opposition, because Quiver shouts, "I bet you guys weren't expecting me here. Time to run!"
They spin round in surprise, and that opportunity for your allies will allow Nox to act very quickly, but they spin round, not asking questions and shooting their assault rifles into the air. You will have pulled off a ridiculous stunt, but I am going to make you mark a condition as you are winged by one of the bullets.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with angry, because, yeah.
I think taking down the goons with you and your fancy dog feels like an incredible stunt, especially as the shadows unfold around you, and Nox can now act. There's 3 of them here. Another 2 are upstairs at the door to your father's study, but you should be able to act and start taking these goons down, Nox.
Yeah, so I think that as Quiver was doing this, Jem was starting to like reach out their shadows like along the floor, so creating these kind of tentacles to wrap around these goons' legs to like drag them over to Nox, and I'd be weaving my dangerous web.
Cool. Let's roll that to start with then.
That's a 12.
Grand. So Quiver's dangerous optimism is the most dangerous trap you could definitely set for them, and that allows you on a 10+ to take +1 forward onto your next roll, where I presume you want to take them out with a directly engaged threat.
Correct. Yeah. And that's roll plus danger. Yeah, that's an 8.
Cool. So on an 8, you get to choose 1 from the list. You inflict a condition on them, but what's the other thing you want to do?
I want to impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
So these goons on this floor have only got 2 conditions. So what you'll be doing is frightening the other ones up at the father study as they hear this noise of the guns going off, and people screeching and shouting, going, "What is this?" As Nox off panel is unleashed, and we can see these sort of increasingly panic-looking goons going like, "Oh God, man, what is it? Oh my God, oh my God!" And then one of them says, "Look, step back," and he uses a shotgun to blow the study open, but we'll flip that page and come back in a moment. This is still looking bad dynamic. This is escalated into full-on tactical weapon fighting, and then you can see your senses sort of detect the building charge inside that van. Suddenly you feel a hand on your shoulder.
Who is it?
You turn around to see Bluebird, and she looks at you and goes, "Hi, how are you doing?"
presses a button, camera drone flies up further away, out of reach. Well, I'm busy. How are you?
I'm okay. I thought I could go down there and start breaking some hands.
Hey,
Would you like a hand, or have you got it all sorted, superstar?
I mean, of course I've got it all sorted. All part of the show.
Oh, can I be your faithful sidekick? And
Yeah, I could use a stagehand.
You are so gracious.
Well, I know I'd give you more of a leading role, but I know how you feel about the camera.
And say, hey, you're doing some good with it, but I do not consent to use my image or give away any of my rights. Blur me. And she's over the roof and down into the fray.
Dynamic thinks back to the conversation with Jeff, where we established that if you're in a superhero vigilante anonymous identity, you have no rights to your own image. I would like to assess the situation, I think.
Cool.
That is a 4. What is my superior at the moment? It's only a 2, so that is a miss. That is a 6. So mark potential.
So I think as you sort of stand up to scan the area and figure out what's going on, you are spotted by one of the shooters down in the street. They turn and there is a rattle of assault rifle fire towards you, and I'd like you to take a powerful blow.
Sure thing. It was snake eyes, and I was like, yes. And then it did the thing where it caught off and it changed. Now it's still only a 5.
So the good news is that means you mark potential, and you say how you stand strong. What does it look like?
I think the bullets whip up and like catch him in the chest, and he like staggers back over the thing. But then he's got like the bullet in his hand. And like as he drops down to the I guess I was on the rooftops, I guess, when I was speaking to Bluebird, and then as I fall down to the floor, I like suddenly am held up by the bullet that I've got in my hand, like I'm using it to hold myself up, kind of stuff.
Awesome.
I drop it down, and I'm like, so I guess I know that this is something in this car, right? That's about to explode, or something.
Yeah, you can sense it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I yell like everyone to get down and rip off the door of the car to like using the door as a shield against any further automatic fire to see what's inside.
Cool. You've got that, and it's effectively, it looks to be a very big bomb. It's going to probably take out, when it goes off, a good chunk of this block.
Well, there's only one thing to do in such situations, and that is do your best to fly it into the sun.
So you're going to try and unleash your powers to send it spiraling up into the air?
Yeah, I think I would like to do the whole kind of like flying away from the, like me taking it up kind of thing, and the big explosion for the dramatic, like big explosion in the sky. Does he make it? Does he not make it? Kind of moment. I'm happy basically to take a powerful blow from this, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, let's unleash your power. Now Garen's got a black cat. Is it the same black cat? Is it going between Zoom windows?
It's secretly the supervillain of this entire story.
That is an 8.
So mark a condition, or I'm going to tell you how it's unstable or temporary.
I think I would like to know how it's unstable or temporary.
Okay, so we see you sort of leaping and drawing it up into the air with your powers, and then in that panel we can just sort of see the explosion and people looking up, wondering what has happened to Dynamic as we.
The live stream, it's like follows it and then static.
Awesome. We flip the page to seeing Judge Torres has been shot in the chest as she sort of hit the ground. What do you do, Oriflame?
That was the wrong move, and I'm just gonna lash out. I'm gonna charge down Professor.
Okay. He sort of goes da, 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 just before you decide to do that. That's the right move, because what I've put inside here is a small micro explosive, similar to the one I've just put inside you. That's how we've kept us so tightly wound all this time. If you lash out, if you don't surrender, I will explode you both. You might survive. She won't. The Judge Torres sort of looks at you, sort of holding it. She goes, "Is he?"
Shh. And okay, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna back off, and I'm literally just gonna try and get out of line of sight. And
yeah.
And once I do that, if they're using micro explosives on people they don't like, they're probably using it to for loyalty in their own people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try and see if I can actually swap the trigger frequencies with my hacking powers.
Okay. You would unleash your powers for that. Well, you could use Are You Watching Closely would be appropriate as well. You make a call which you'd like to use.
I'll use Are You Watching Closely then, if I could. Not that it really matters, because that's a 7 to 9 either way.
Cool.
So
choose 2 from your Are You Watching Closely?
Just give me 2 seconds.
I would suggest it's probably you expose a weakness or flaw and you get an opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing.
You have swapped it, but you're not sure that you have it's all swapped, right? There might be, you're not sure you've deactivated the ones inside you and your mother, but if he does trigger it, he's definitely going to take out and you're right, they've all got these in around him as well.
Do they all have them around in the actual city?
There's quite I don't think it was a high enough success to go beyond what's in front of you right now.
Okay.
But you're pretty sure that if he does detonate, he's going to take his goons with you.
In which case, can I use my moment of truth?
Yeah.
Because I got up to a full advance.
Cool.
So I would like to take a moment of truth, and I will use the moment of truth to actually tie in all of his crew's actual detonators.
Okie dokie. You can describe away. You with moment of truth is unleashed. You've got the floor to describe, to tell us what we see, to ask me or any other character for help in that description. The spotlight is yours.
Okay. So I stand up and walk around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you've got the balls to. I mean, look at you. You're a little man in a little mask. I mean, what have you actually accomplished? And I'm taking a step forward and literally walking slowly the entire time. Go on, press it. Little man.
Well, if you insist, and he presses the button, and all of a sudden you can see, we can see a couple of panels of. I'm going to check before I describe this. Actually, so I'm just going to try and check. Veil. No, graphic was right. So you can just sort of see the people in the room next to you. They sort of go boom as you can see parts of them exploding. There was blood and gore outside where people were looking up to see what's happened. Dynamic. A number of these goons as well go up with a pop, surprising the cops and them that they have been terminated by kill switch. And then you sort of see the professor looking at the detonator and looking at you. The eyes sort of squint, and he looks at you and says, "Nice move. Gonna have to do this the old way then." And he pulls a sword out of the umbrella and sort of is drawing at you. The moment of truth is still active. If you want to describe how you take him out, just go for it.
He comes at me. I think I kick the umbrella out of it. Well, grab. Sorry, the sword comes out of the umbrella.
It's like a sword, yeah, in the umbrella.
Sword cane.
Pull it out, yeah.
Okay. So he comes down. He comes and swings for me, and I draw the Grey Ghost's pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bayonet attachment that actually swings out from under it.
Yep.
And I actually parry it with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's this moment of realization where the professor actually recognizes it. My father left me some presents, and I basically punch him to the ground. And the frame is with me standing above him, lights behind him, with the actual gun pointing at him. Submit.
Sort of, you can hear him. You can sort of see this smile, and even under the mask, you can feel there's a smile there. And he says, "You haven't got the balls. I'm the professor. You take me down, and I'll be."
I'm shooting him.
Sorry,
I'm shooting him.
In the middle of his diatribe, there's a bang.
With the gas pistol, which I'm assuming non-lethal.
Yeah, the Grey Ghost wasn't really into the killing of peeps, so it's in the middle of his villainous diatribe. There's a poof as the gas explodes around his face. Let's flip the page at that point. Don't forget to lock one of your labels as you've just used your moment of truth. Back to the Barges household. The shotgun you can hear going off upstairs. Knox and Quiver. How do you react, Knox, to the sound of a big bang from a shotgun?
I think that it's like attention, like sudden turn of the head towards the noise and a rush upstairs.
As you Quiver.
So we were both downstairs, and the shot was upstairs.
Well, it's a townhouse. It's got multiple floors, but it's above. Yeah, it's a floor or probably 2 floors above you. Do you want to position yourself, Quiver? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think we see Quiver just like look up, trying to see where did the sound come from, and then I think we see Quiver say, "Well, I've done it only once. Let's see if it works." And he jumps up really high, and he like gets on the table, and he attempts to go through the ceiling to the upper floor because he has phasing, which we have never seen.
Okay, let's roll that. Does it mean unleash your powers?
Yeah, that can go really weirdly to be stuck between the floors. Oh yeah, going from boxcars to snake eyes in one move.
Well, we mark this potential, as you say. You've done it once before, and we see Quiver launch himself at the ceiling and bounce off it with a oomph, leaving the Gem or Nox, at this point on her own with the 2 thugs upstairs. There's one with a shotgun. The other one has grabbed Kitty and has a pistol up against her. Says, "You want to think about this, hero? We just got to keep these people occupied for a little while. No one needs to die here. Don't escalate this. Sit down. Be a good hero."
Oh, who are you to tell me what to do?
That's a good question, because they probably are telling you who you are. So I'm going to tell you who you are. I'm going to try. The guy is going to try and shift your your labels. He's trying to sort of put your danger down and your savior up, because you can save everyone just by sitting down. Are you going to accept that, or are you going to resist?
I'm going to resist that.
Okay.
And then I just roll straight up, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That was a 7.
So as you successfully reject the influence, you can clear a condition, mark potential, and mark potential, shift one label, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
I'm going to cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
Okay. Then what do you do?
So I think that I'm going to kind of like take back my my hood, so I'm in my costume but no more mask.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I'm just gonna charge him. Like I'm just gonna throw myself.
So that sounds like you're triggering I'll save you.
Yes.
I want to pay high cut to keep your level in sales. Reveal your secret identity. Your mom and these goons did not know who you were. So that also means you will gain 2 potential from this, as your mother gasps as she sees you. But this is as if you rolled a 12 plus on. Yeah, so presumably you would have been directly engaging a threat there. So it's 12 plus. So you managed to choose 2 from the 12 plus. 2 from the directly engage a threat.
Okay.
Choices.
So I think I'm going to take something from them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is going to be their. Let's see. I think that I'm going to take any weapons that they have on them. I think that this is going to like knock the wind out of them.
Okay.
And then I'm going to create an opportunity for my allies.
Okay, so I think we see the shadow tendrils snap up and pull both the pistol and the shotgun out of their hands. We know that Quiver is now coming up the old-fashioned way via the stairs. The opportunity is created for Kitty, who takes a like a paperweight off the desk and slams it hard into the jaw of the goon that had her held. He goes oof and goes down, and there's just the other one who hasn't got a gun. He puts his hands up and starts running down and meets Quiver on the stairs. What do you do, Quiver?
So Quiver was in the middle of explaining to Sparky that it should have worked, and then this guy runs up, and then they are both surprised, but luckily Sparky reacts in time, jumping on him and like growling for him, and then Quiver just says, "Oh yeah, you should not move. Like this dog is really aggressive."
Okay. And the page flips. And we see Dynamic sort of not in a good way, mostly unconscious, falling down through the air, slightly aflame. What are you doing, Dynamic?
I'm trying to think of a cool thing to do, and I'm blanking entirely. You know what? I try and like pull myself towards like the roof of the building, like pull my use my rather than pull something magnetic towards me, pull myself towards something magnetic. So like.
Cool. I have cleared your angry condition because you definitely broke something.
True. Yeah. Cool. So Would
that will be an unleash your powers.
Yeah, I do that a lot, don't I?
Well, you've got fancy powers, so unleashing it is the appropriate one here.
I should probably move my freak up a bit more. But I don't need to because I get a 9.
Cool. So you're going to mark a condition, or I'm going to tell you how this is temporary or unstable.
You know what? I won't mark a condition because I can't think any of those emotions particularly working other than the one that I just had. So I will temporary or unstable.
Cool. It just about holds, and you're just at the edge of the building. You're there, your foot's just landing, and then suddenly it's you lose your footing, and you're about to fall way off. And all of a sudden, your foot is wrapped in a grappling hook, and you're hanging from a flagpole. And Bluebird is looking up and waving at you, and going, "Don't worry, I've saved you, sidekick." And she goes back into the fray.
That's cool. She doesn't know that I can edit that out.
But you could edit the video, but not out of your mind.
Yeah, fine.
Okay,
He's just happy not to have splattered across the pavement.
I think the point of that frame of dynamic hanging upside down is a moment that we should take a break this morning. We will come back at 45 minutes after the hour, guys. Okay.
Sure.
The page turns, and we are in the courthouse. The unconscious professor is on the floor. Your mother is sort of picking her up and looking, and she sort of puts her hands on your shoulder and says, Is he? Is that you? What have you got on? How are you dressed? Oh my God, where did you get that gun from?
I'll pull the mask down, pull the hood back, and the goggles come up. Yeah, Mum, it's me. I got this from our friends, our father's, our dad's friends. My dad's friends. They've told me the truth.
She looks at you. Her eyes sort of, she can't make eye contact with you. She sort of looks away and turns away and looks at the window. So can you just give me 2 seconds to get a glass of water, because something has irritated my throat. 2 seconds. Right,
you're right, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, you said they told her everything, and yeah, she sort of sits down, looks out the window, and then, well, she doesn't. She just looking out the window at the darkness of the streets and the fires burning.
That's not important now. I know what happened. You should have told me. But that's not important now. And I'll hug her.
She sort of turns and looks around and looks at you, have the hug, and sort of, and then puts her hand, sort of looks down at you and said, "It wasn't that simple. It's never that simple. You saw what he did. There were explosives in me, in others. He held us over a barrel."
I know.
So,
I figured that out.
So what went on? Were you responsible for that? She looks at the dead bodies in the room.
I'd like to think that he's responsible for that. I just pulled the trigger.
She looks around and sort of her jaw is on the floor and said,
"This isn't just about us. There are hundreds, possibly thousands of people in danger out there at the moment because of those thugs."
She says, "But those people," she looks at the bodies on the floor, "those people are dead because of your choices."
Those people are dead because they chose to pull guns on my mother. They're dead because they chose to follow a villain, a monster.
She steps back.
This isn't just about us.
She steps
This
back
isn't
and
just
looks at you.
happening here.
They're dead because of your choices.
Yeah. They're dead because I valued other people more than them. And this was the only way I could save them.
She just looks.
Doing this doesn't give easy choices. I have never done this before. I've never taken a life. I have never taken a life. Despite what you see on the news, I'm not a killer. Or I wasn't a killer until now. But this is bigger than me. I didn't make this a war, they did. And the battle's still going on. And I'm going to turn and start walking away. And my friends need me. We'll talk later.
Okay.
Was she trying to tell me who I am?
Yes.
Okay, would you like me to roll to resist that?
If you're going to reject her influence, then yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Sorry, I just figured with where you were going with that. So that would be a 12.
Cool. So you get to choose 2 from the reject list.
One second. I don't think I feel quite so hopeless anymore, so I'm going to clear that. And I'm going to cancel her influence on me.
Cool. Let's go back to the Barge's house, where there's another mom situation about to unfold as Jem's mother sort of steps up from behind the table, the desk where she was and looks at Jem. I don't know if we've established your mother's name, Jem.
I don't think we have. Let's see. Her name's Fern.
Fern. Cool. So Fern is again. She's looks at you, looks at Kitty, sort of grabs you both in her arms and is sobbing, like ugly crying, sobbing. And she then you're Knox?
The one and only.
But we had the police thinking that Knox took Jem. Why didn't you tell us?
Well, you see, Mom, there's this little thing called a secret identity. Kind of important when you're a super.
Don't use that tone of voice with me. That was a simple enough question.
You're right. I'm sorry. I know you've been through a lot today.
And she looks at Kitty and puts her hands and says, "Did you know about this?" And Kitty sort of gives you an upwards look and goes, "I'll never tell." That's where I think you can see the police car starts pulls up outside, and we sort of see cops coming in, and your father is with them. But your mother says, "So don't go back out there, Jem. It's dangerous. Please stay here."
Well, it's clearly
She's
dangerous.
telling you who you are, I'm afraid. So.
All right, cool. Let's see this. I'm gonna try to reject it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's a 7.
So you reject it. You get to choose one. You can clear a condition, shift a label, or cancel influence.
I think I'm just gonna cancel the influence and just say it's clearly not much safer here, and I can actually go out and do something. And then I make dead eye contact with Robbie and say, unlike some people in this house.
Your father sort of looks away, look of shame on his face, and he says, "Go then. Be who you need to be."
Yeah. Jem's just gonna storm out without saying anything.
And we can sort of see in the back distance, the background panel of Kitty saying, "And I'm going to be trained by Quiver and be a superhero as well."
No, you're not.
We've got probably all three voices at the same time say that. It's like, no fair. There is still much peril in the city, but the immediate crisis has passed. Your loved ones are safe. Does the team come back together?
Yeah, I think I pass on that folder to Billingsby.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very clear where dynamic was, right? Everyone saw a huge explosion across the city. So I'm happy to meet up wherever we would meet up. I feel like kind of in the streets, like rather than go back to a base or anything.
Yeah,
it has to be on a rooftop somewhere. That's our key thing. We always meet up on rooftops.
I would
Billy-
like to maybe do one thing with Bluebird though beforehand.
Cool, but I Billingsby looks at the father just a second and says, "Look, there are other bombs like that in Tri-Town, and they've taken out the power. As long as that power is out, we won't be able to re-establish order dynamic. Can you and your team do something?"
Well, if only I knew some sort of superhero with electric power. Oh, sure. And
then you can turn to Bluebird.
Yeah, and I'd be like, what's the provoke someone move again?
Provoke.
But they're not susceptible to my words. Maybe are they? When they could be. In any case,
what are you trying to do?
I would like to ask Bluebird to to go after some of these bombs and while we get the power back online.
So we need to find them. We don't know where they are. We know that these vans. We'll need an army of people looking for these things. And she looks at you and says, "Oh my God!"
Hey, you're about to see my real superpower.
Is that being an insufferable prick?
Dynamic winks and says, "Hey, you just need to get to know me like they do."
I'll buy a T-shirt and a mug if you sort this out.
Hey,
Find them.
Let's do the audience thing, I guess. Guys, you're looking for vans, blah blah blah. Even though the power's out, I imagine the mobile network would still work, data and things. So roll plus superior. Oof, 7.
So on a hit, someone in your audience can hook you up.
Mm-hmm.
On a 7 to 9, the demands are high. We'll deal with the fallout of that later on, I think.
Yeah. But I will point to I'll let Bluebird know that look, everyone's going to be posting in my you're on Instagram, right? Like everyone is going to be posting in. Look, they'll all be posting. I got to go get the power back online. But you got this for now.
I think as you realize, as you ask those of your audience who are to do this for you, you realize on your feed that how many people, and there are probably hundreds of people, desperately asking for your help right now, and the realization that dynamic can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah, that's it. But I'm going to try. God damn it.
Yeah, but your audience, that's it. What someone says, it's like dynamic can't save us all. He's not like a Tyson. Is one of the responses, and they are going to tell you who you are. Are you going to accept it or reject your audience's view on you?
I'm going to accept it because I think this is a point where Dynamic realizes that he can't be everywhere, and you know what he needs? He needs some sort of superhero team to help him out.
So I'm gonna put your superior down and your mundane up.
Okay. And I would like to, though, just before I leave Bluebird, lean in and say, thanks for the save. You would look good on camera, but we could always turn those off. And I'd pass him my phone number.
She's looking at the number and said, "So are you going to actually call me? Because like Oriflame said, we were going to go on a date, and that never happened."
Yeah, Dynamic's like, she's complicated.
Said, "You're all complicated. And I'm sure I'll see you again."
Fly away.
And is away.
Yeah, cool, great. I wanted to set up a little love triangle sort of thing, slightly perhaps. Plus, I need to keep it fresh, right? Like, nothing sells like romance.
Cool. Okay. The team is back together. You're on a rooftop. There are fires burning everywhere. It is the people are out in the street. There is.
I actually wanted to do one more thing before we come to the. Since we have this one nice guy from the Barge's house that surrendered. I think we kind of see as the police is coming that him and Quiver are sitting on the couch, and the Quiver is like, listen, I know that the things are bad and that you are probably didn't want it to be part of the criminal, but listen, if they will learn that you failed here, they're gonna take an action. But if you tell us where the boss is and we take the boss out, then you are safe. So trust me, I'm a superhero. I really want to help you. Just tell me where the bosses are. And I'm kind of leaning on my new move, Symbol of Authority. When you give an NPC an order based on an authority they recognize, roll plus savior. Or we can do Pierce the Mask. I think both are fine here.
Well, let's use your new move, right? The cops are there. He knows who you are. So yeah, let's roll. Symbol of Authority. That's rolling with savior.
Yeah. It's a 10.
So on a 10 plus, you get +1 forward, but they do what you say. You choose one from the list.
They choose, so you choose.
Oh, they choose one. Look, they're going to say, look. So I can tell you where the professor's base of operations is. I don't think they're there, but actually can't be one of the professor's men. They were because they were all blown up. So this would be one of Valhammer's men. Sorry, we change that. He says, said Valhammer was going to take out one of the blocks. He said something about putting dynamic in their place.
Putting dynamic in their place? What do you mean?
Said, I don't know. Dynamic pissed him off. He said he was going to take out his neighborhood.
Oh, well, you did a very good thing. I'm sure we will go there and have a word with Valhammer. And now, and now, my good man, I think you should go with those police officers and be nice. Yeah, and then we can leave the scene.
Cool. But yeah, if we come back on the scene, you're one of the tall buildings where the lights are out, and it's one of those water coolers towers at the top of a building. You're looking down. It's like, and it's saying like, it is chaos out there, with both small crimes, opportunities, what's left of the families, but it's clear that what they were planning to do here was to try and tear this neighborhood apart and do enough damage that their plans to knock it down will come to fruition.
How is everyone?
Oh, you don't look
better than you.
Yeah, explosive charge in my shoulder. What can I say?
Oh,
Anyone got a knife?
Just
give you an arrow.
give me a second. And then whatever, if you try to dig out something like dynamic will...
Ah!
I didn't say it wouldn't hurt.
That feels to me like you are comfort and supporting.
Yeah. With my superpowers.
While inflicting a great deal of pain in the process.
Yes, well, it wouldn't
It's a
be
win-win for everyone involved.
So comfort and support is with mundane.
Cool. Are they 10 plus?
So on a 10 plus, Oriflame can mark potential clear condition or shift labels if they open up to you. On a 10 plus, you can also add team to pool or clear a condition yourself. Dynamic. Do you open up, Oriflame?
After tonight, I'm done. Jesus Christ.
They need you. This whole city needs you, you know? Like, look, and I'll pull out my phone and I'm like, all these people need our help tonight. You know, the whole running around in the shadows, like taking down the families. That's fine and everything, right? But they need to know we're here.
They don't need a killer.
I mean, who have you killed, actually? Professor?
No, but...
Have you actually killed anyone?
In terms of, he switched the explosives around onto all of the Professor's goons. So when the Professor's goons were killed by the Professor, that was directly down to Oriflame provoking them.
True. They need help.
After tonight, I'm done. I'm gonna... I don't know. I'm gonna try and get I'll study law or something. I'll try and make a difference the proper way. But I can't keep on doing this.
Well, it's a shame because you're pretty good at it. I'd like to tell you who you are.
Please do.
Also take a look at your team moves, folks, because you've probably just hit some of those.
Oh yeah, you've probably hit. That's probably a vulnerability or weakness, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let's see all the team move first from our delinquent.
Sorry, I've got so many windows open at the moment. I'm just trying to find them.
I got it in front of me. So when you share a vulnerability or weakness, someone give them influence over you and ask them who they'd like you to be. Mark potential if you show them that person. If they're a teammate, add a team to the pool no matter what. So his response was, that you're pretty damn good at it. So how do you react to the back of that? Well, let's see what the provoke does, right?
Yeah, I feel as though the provoke is wrapped up in that, anyways.
Yeah. Well, roll the provoke because that might add more team to the pool, which is never a bad thing.
That's 14.
So if you do it, you get a team added to the pool. If you don't do it, you mark a condition. So what's the ask? Dynamic. What are you trying to get?
That she's a part of this team, you know, like, and this is exactly what Dynamic was warning her about the entire time. But you know, like, it's she's not a killer; she's a hero. God damn it! And the people of Tri-Town need us, not just Dynamic, us. Although I think at that point maybe I'm sharing a vulnerability or weakness.
Well, let's wrap them all up.
Yeah.
So what is Oriflame's response to that almost moment of compassion from Dynamic?
I can't do it on my own. Every time I go out there on my own, I make mistakes.
Yeah, well, neither can I. Hand out, you know, team handshake moment.
Are you expressing what's your vulnerability?
My vulnerability is that you know, I may be the star and everything and whatever, but I do know that I can't do it alone, and that I do need people.
Cool.
You can join the conversation, Jam. You don't need to put it into the actual chat. You are physically there.
Yeah.
So are you saying that?
Yeah. I think Jem kind of breaks it. Do either of you two look like you're alone right now? And kind of gestures to Quiver and Sparky, and it's like, come on, and kind of like whaps you both upside the head, like.
Hey.
Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah. We do better together.
That's what I'm saying. Synergy.
You know, that would be a really good superhero name.
Isn't that a villain?
Oh, I don't know. I lose track of all these comics.
Sparky and Synergy, like for the team name?
Oof, no. Anyways, we're off track. People need help. The city is
What's going down? What's the state of play?
We need to get Billingsby needs us to get the power back on. There are bombs all over the city. Bluebird's going to start taking them out while we get the power back on, and we see if we can put, you know, I imagine Quiver tells us about Valhammer's plan to attack my block.
Yeah, you know, you might want to direct Bluebird to whatever your neighborhood is, because one of the goons said that Valhammer wants to take it out completely. Some kind of revenge stuff. So
you don't mess with my home, though. You know, that's my home. Like, we need to get the power back on. We need to. I don't suppose the power station's right by my block. I don't know how to narratively handle that, really, because I feel like it would be off for Dynamic to say, like, Bluebird, go save my block, and we need to stop the Stable City.
Listen, Dynamic, you go save your block. I'm going to go get the power up and running. I'm not sure how, but I'll figure something out.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up at this time. There's too many people out looking for us. If they catch us on our own, we're just going to be. We've already had hard fights so far tonight.
Speaking of hard fights, No, that was really awesome. Like I went in there, I blocked their side, and then you went in there and you chopped all of them. That was cool stuff. And this teleportation, oh wow, that was really, really super scary, but really super fun.
You know, it was nothing. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do it without you, Quiver. I mean, they would have had me down and out if it weren't for you. I don't know what I would have done without you there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad I could help.
Are you guys?
Sounds like a triumphant celebration from your team moves.
Yes. And we actually completed this. So I tell you how you are awesome, and I add to the pool, and you tell me how I am awesome, and we add more to the pool. So please add two to the pool.
Your team's suddenly gone from nothing to loads.
I think that I agree. I don't want to split the team up again. And I know they said that I went to go punch Valhammer, but I think that this is one of those times where Dynamic is going to look at that sort of city on fire and everyone needing him. And he knows that his family are probably at the hospital with Jeff. In fact, maybe he just knows that, the last thing that he heard was that they're not at the block. So he'll sigh and just be like, we can always rebuild, but the whole damn hood's going to burn down if we don't get the power back on.
Okay.
I think that Nox is probably going to put a hand on Dynamic's shoulder and say, there will be time. We'll get back in time. We need to get the power up and running now.
Okay.
So if the mobile network is still up, I'm going to try and actually hack into the plans for the power grid and do the whole Tony Stark thing of pulling up holograms of actual of the
Sounds to
different
me like
connections.
you're assessing the situation, or narratively, as you bring up the plans, it might even be better if you've done that. But Cirrus Quiver was to use their straight up creeping, because that's exactly what that move is for.
Did we resolve any of the team moves between me and Oriflamme?
Oh, sorry.
So it's a star's vulnerability. I dealt with it for. I put the team in anyway for.
For Oriflamme's share of vulnerability or weakness.
So are you going to give influence? You mark potential Oriflamme and give influence to Dynamic.
Yes.
Dynamic currently has influence over you or not.
So you can change my you can just shift my tags.
I think I will shift your tags. I can't shift your superior, can I? Because that's locked.
No.
But I will shift your tags to be, I think, danger down, because you're not just a killing machine, and you're mundane up, I think, because I see the person you are.
Yep. When you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone for the star, ask them if they will tell anyone the truth about you. If they agree to keep it secret, clear a condition and mark potential. If you don't agree, the GM shifts your labels.
I think this is slightly complicated by I'm not trying to keep it secret. This is a character growth moment for Dynamic.
All right. When you share a triumphant celebration then with someone, let's treat it that way. Share whether it is part of the show or not. If
it's not part of the show,
then they can shift your labels. So Oriflamme will shift your labels, and you can clear a condition or mark potential.
Cool. That levels me up, which is perfect.
So I get to shift your labels. Is that right, Will?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I think learning that you actually need to rely on other people makes you into a bit of a better hero. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up your superior by 1.
Cool.
And drop you mundane.
Cool.
Sorry, and there's also Cyrus's team move now as well. The
Where's
celebration.
Alded? Where's Alded? We just added to the pool,
Okay.
to the team pool.
Okay. So I hack into, I basically pull up the plans for the power grid, and I put them up as holograms, Tony Stark style. So, thunk, thunk, thunk.
Okay, I guess we wanna best way in. Yes. They're probably guarding this and this entrances. Let's see if we can find something over there. So you want me to roll cripping, straight up cripping, David?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this move. It's an 8 plus 1. It's a 9.
So on a 7 to 9, you can ask one question. Give me a straight cripping move.
Does anyone want to spend one of those sweet team tools to boost me to the 10 so we can ask the questions?
Yeah, I think I will, because I've been putting up the plans for you and helping you actually get the information that you need anyway. So
yeah,
I think I'm already helping out there.
Yeah, cool. So I think the question is, what is our best way into the power plant? And I think the second question, the very interesting from here is, what here is not what here is not what they seem.
Okay, so the power plant is there are two ways in. There's the front way, which you expect to be guarded, and that is the gates and the areas around it, but it's close to the waterfront, so you could make an attack from water. And you definitely think that there's going to be someone or something there ready and waiting for you. You know that they hire mercs, so there's more than a fair chance that there's someone of a superpowered nature ready and waiting for you.
At the water approach gate.
Yes? At the power station, right? The most heads up going straight in. You'd probably go straight into their kill zone, making your way out. If you came in the other way, you could potentially have a drop of surprise on them.
Yeah, I think Quiver is like live commenting as he analyzes the plans, and then he summarizes. So even though both ways are probably guarded, I think the approach from the water can be a little bit better. Can we actually go under the water and get into the power plant under the water?
Yeah, you could sneak in that way. If you want to go in that way, yeah, you could go through one of the storm drains.
Yeah, and if you guys up for a swim in the cold water, to maybe that one will be least protected.
I think that we see Gem go completely white and water.
Yeah, like water.
I don't swim. I don't do water. That can I have like some floaties?
Yes.
I'll reach down and take her hand, and it's not a huge thing. It's literally just slipping my hand into hers and squeezing. Don't worry, you'll be fine. We're here.
She kind of takes a shaky breath. Okay. Yeah. Just water.
I can give you Sparky. He's a trained swimmer. You can avoid all the paths with claws because, they leave nasty scratches.
Sparky. I love Sparky.
Sparky is our comfort and support animal.
Yes.
Okay. So are we? You're going in through the storm drain entrance into the for everyone into the power station. Yeah,
that's Quiver's first suggestion. I'm not sure what you guys think.
No, I think we should do that. It's the best chance of getting in and getting out. If we go by water, we'd have to get a vehicle and we'd be out in the open, and we have no way of actually. We've got no subs that we could steal nearby. Sorry, I could steal nearby. So I think the storm drain is probably the best way in.
Yeah, sure.
okay.
Just the dynamic. Please don't electrocute us once we are in the water. You know, water is a perfect thing for electricity.
Dynamic is taking off his nice coat and his things and folding them neatly and putting them down, and he's like, "Oh man, like, yeah, don't worry, I won't do. Like, I just need to make sure that this stuff is dry clean only."
Yeah, of course. Look over. Yeah, we need to look good once we are in there. So
none of us are going to be looking good when we get out of that water.
come on, this new dust.
I don't know. I think Knox and I have a pretty good chance.
Okay, so we sort of see the scene of you then all tramping through the stinky storm drain and sort of Oriflame slowly lifting the storm drain cover and looking out into the power station. At the center of the power station, seeming to absorb the energy, we see a figure crackling with energy, dressed in black leather jacket, bald head, eyes sort of flickering with power as we see Strikeout standing there and holding their position. They're not the goons, the defense. Valhammer's people are at the front gate, and you can see it's pretty armed there, including like an armored van. But you've got the drop on them. But we are definitely entering battle against a dangerous foe as a team. Okay, so that's two teams. We go through all these sections here, right? So who is the leader in this scenario?
Dynamic. The guy over there is actually absorbing all the power. You've got the best chance of actually standing up to him if he unleashes that. He's yours.
Sounds like Oriflamme's leading the team then.
Okay, so do you have influence over everyone in the team, Oriflamme?
I do.
Okay, so three.
I also have the captain.
Cool. Can we go through all the questions and we get to the individual moves, right? So that's one there. Everyone has the same purpose in the fight. What is your purpose in the fight? Oriflamme, let's start there.
To take down the bad guys and be big damn heroes.
Has anyone got a substantially different motivation to that?
Bring back electricity, but that's part of it. So
okay. Does the team mistrust the leader of the team? Any member of the team?
Nope.
Is your team ill prepared or off balance? No, they're not. Quite the contrary. So that's 4, and then the captain move.
When you enter battle as a team, add an extra team to the pool and carry +1 forward if you are the leader.
Cool. All right. So that means we're adding 5 into the team. You've got tons of team at this present moment in time, more than you're likely to need. So, in fact, your team is sitting at, I think, 12 of all of those nice little moves you made. Okay. So, Oriflame, you were giving Dynamic their instructions.
Okay, Dynamic, you've got the best chance of taking him out and dealing with him if he unleashes that power at us. He's yours. We'll clear the way to him. I get the feeling that Valhammer's around here somewhere. Knox, are you able to? Oh, sorry. Keep an eye out for them. Don't engage them directly. They're likely to have additional support. Call for a member of the team if they show up. Everyone ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And what do I do?
Cover us. There's going to be times where we're going to be exposed. We need to actually support each other. We need to take out that absorber. But ultimately, when we get his attention, he's going to be losing that power on us. So,
Sure.
Dynamic, like I say, you've got this, and we'll cover you as you go in.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, so let's open with Nox. What is Nox doing?
So I think that Nox is going to disappear into the shadows and try to figure out where like folk are like throughout just the base, just like figure out their positioning where Valhammer is and everybody else.
Cool. So Valhammer and the goons are at the front, right? They've got, say, an armored car waiting for. They thought you were going to come through that way, so you've got the drop on them. Strikeout is, I say, at the central of the power transformers, absorbing the energy. The transformers look pretty damaged from what they've done to it, but that's the scenario. So you can make a. If you want to assess the situation to get any advantages.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. That's rolling
Plus superior.
Awesome. All right. That is an 11. Oh, no. 10.
10 is fine. So that means you can ask 2 questions from the assess situation questionist.
Okay, gnarly. Let's see. How could we best end this quickly?
The quickest way to end this would probably to you're pretty sure that the Quiver was onto something about electricity and water, and maybe if you can get Strikeout into the water or the water onto Strikeout, you could short circuit them pretty fast.
All right. What here is the biggest threat?
Strikeout looks like they are absorbing that energy from the grid. If they hit someone, they're going to hit very hard.
Yeah, cool. And then I think that we have those like little comm things, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that I'm probably going to be like, careful, y'all. He looks like that Strikeout looks like he can really pack a punch. I've located the other goons. If anybody wants to come help out, more than appreciated. If not, I'll just move in.
What do you need?
I mean, and maybe just a little backup quiver if you're free.
Sure, of course. Yeah, I'll go with you.
Okay then, Oriflamme. Me and you, straight at the big guy.
Let's do it.
Okay, so if
Lightning
I am
on my
correct,
hand and I do it.
Quiver and Gem are going for Valhammer and the goons, and Oriflame and Dynamic are going in for Strikeout. Is that correct?
That's
Yeah.
right, yes.
Yes. And I'm gonna say to Quiver and Nox, break that motherfucker's face for my mum.
Roger that.
Okay, let's deal with Valhammer and the goons. At least open with that, as you've got the drop on them, so you'll be able to move in quickly. Okay, reminding yourself at the moment that you are moving forward with +2 forward on this because of the captain move and because of the straight up creeping successes. So, Cirrus, what does Quiver do?
Yeah, I'm. So it's still dark on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what would be his approach? Yeah, I think so. So they are at the front gate. We probably see Quiver coming from the our entrance. And you said that they have some kind of like an armored truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Quiver looks at it and says, "Well, time to take out the big boy." And we see he pulls an arrow that has rather large forward grenade mounted on the arrow, and yeah, and he shoots at the big armor truck.
Okay. So, let's roll. What are you trying to do? To blow it up? Is that the aim?
Yeah, I actually think that this is like a more of a forward explosion grenade, which I think Quiver doesn't want to murder everyone over there with explosion. I think he wants to like push the truck off the road to some, I don't know. I suppose there is some place to push the truck so that it falls into some what is there roads, and you have on the side of the road you have like I don't know. How do you call it?
So you want to drive the truck or make the truck sort of explode off and drive off up the road effectively? Yeah,
Yeah. I think that this is the explosion meant to push the truck off the road and fall into something that is over there that it will not be effective or a problem anymore.
Yeah, the lesser known remote control arrow, but you've still got one. So let's roll to unleash those powers.
Yeah, that will be very difficult. Let's see how it goes. Well, it's a 6.
There's someone from want to help and spend upon a team.
Yeah, I'll help.
How do you help?
So this arrow,
It's gonna explode and it's gonna push the truck. Probably. Oh yeah, I know. I think it's gonna. I think the arrow is meant to make the truck flip on the side so that it can drive and its turret can be like much less effective, because when the truck is on the side, the turret cannot like target everything around it. So I think it's like this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. I think that Gem will maybe like, I don't know. I think that maybe Gem will project like a shadow portal, like so that you can fly the arrow through it, and then it'll pick up speed as it approaches its target. So then it'll really hit it with a boom.
Awesome.
Cool. So it's like one of those sort of riot control vehicles with water cannon on it that you sort of send spinning over. But are you going to mark a condition, or is this temporary or unstable? Cirrus? Quiver? Is Quiver
Yes,
mark a condition, or is it temporary or unstable?
Yes, I'm thinking which condition fit for me to mark over here.
I'll let you have a think of that as it goes over onto its side, and then as that sort of lets everyone know you're here.
I'm going to mark guilty, because Quiver isn't sure if maybe there was someone standing on the other side of the truck, and maybe the truck splashed on someone, and then he like, I haven't thought about maybe someone is standing over there, and we see this like things. Did they kill someone when the truck fall off? I'm not sure. So he feels a little bit guilty.
Cool. Okay. Dynamic, someone with similar power set to you, electricity crackling. How do you engage them? What does that panel look like?
I think it looks like, he's sparking with lightning, and then on the other side of the in the darkness, like eyes light up with electric and dynamic, without much of his his signature jacket and his uniform, just in a very wet. Well, I suppose probably not very well. It's comic books. We don't have to pay attention to that kind of thing. But he's not in full costume, yeah. And he just lightning reefs up the whole thing, and he's like, oh, what's that name of that stupid Spider-Man play? The Dark thing.
Turn out the dark.
Yeah, it's time to turn out the dark.
Awesome. So, are you you're directly engaging a threat? I would think, unless you are recording and it's stage fighting.
I am directly engaging a threat, but you know what? I think that it would be wrong for the people of Tri-Town to not see the, their saviors, their examples of hope, kind of thing. So yes, it is under display.
Cool. So let's roll your stage fighting. So you're rolling with superior.
So my Chrome has frozen up. There we go. Oof. That is only a 7.
Okay. Is it are you going to mark condition, or do you want me to tell you how it's unstable or temporary?
Well, would it not be directly engage a threat, maybe? Oh.
Oh, no, it is. Sorry, it is, right. So don't ignore me. Yes, it is directly engaged, not unleash your power. Sorry. Yes, choose one. Sorry, out of 7 to 9.
Choose one out of 7 to 9. I will create an opportunity for my allies.
Cool. You do that, but as you sort of distract him, he sort of turns around and goes and said, "I hated that show," and then all of a sudden, electricity zaps out of the power transformers towards you, and I would like you to take a powerful blow.
Okay. Oof, 9.
And is that including +1 to your currently marked condition?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, what are you going to do? Lash out verbally, give ground, or struggle past the condition? Struggle past the pain and you take 2 conditions.
I'll give ground, and I think because it's the opposition gets an opportunity, and I've given Oriflamme an opportunity, so I don't know if that really works. But I think dynamic is overpowered by this surge of electric, and like blown back across the room into the thing all sparking and smoking.
Yeah, I think there's a blast that hits you, and then his hand blasts out towards the overturned truck, cracking open the water cannon tank. So water is spraying up into the air, and it starts crackling with electricity. And he goes, toasted teenagers, my favorite. Oriflamme?
I think while this fight's been going on, I've been climbing the girders and the rafters. So I think there's actual shot of him standing there looking up, and the Oriflamme's just perched like Spider-Man on one of the rafters above.
Cool. And what would you like to do?
I'm gonna come down I'm basically gonna. You know what a bungee jump is?
Yeah.
I'm basically I'm attaching a cord. I'm coming down, and as I'm coming down, I'm basically slapping one of the needles that the professor tried to shoot me with into him, and then using the bungee effect to basically come back up out of range before I get too fried in the process. So I think I'm directly engaging a threat in the process.
Okay, so yep, let's roll that.
And that would be a 7.
Yep. So you get to choose one from the list.
Okay. I don't think I've actually properly directly engaged a threat before in all these sessions.
Oh, resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. You also hit them and do a condition. So he was already angry from dynamics attack.
I think I'm going to frighten him.
Okay.
I've come down. I think he's dealt with the professor beforehand. He knows what these actual darts represent and what's carried in them.
As you do that, you sort of slam into him, and he grabs you, grabs you by his hands on your head and grabs you at that present moment in time and says, "Burn." And I'd like you to take a powerful blow. And
okay.
if you, then one of his power moves will go off as well.
Okay, well, that's a 10.
So a 10, you must remove yourself from the situation, lose control of yourself, your powers in a terrible way, or 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
Can you help out with take a powerful blow?
You can defend.
Yeah, I'd like to defend.
So you can roll plus savior, and describe how that would work.
Oof, and that's 11.
Okay. On a hit, you keep them safe from the powerful blow, but they are going to trigger one of their power moves irrespective as a hard move. But you can add a team to the fill, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I'll clear a condition because I don't think we need to add a team to the pool when I already have.
Do you want to describe how it looks? How you sort of...
I think that he does that burn thing, and like he charges up, right? And then it flickers out, and he's like, Then you just see dynamic on the other side, like just everything, like just all focused in on himself, and he's like, never tried that before.
Okay. So he sort of looks at that, and it's actually a description because I was going to blow up Oriflame's gadgets. I think that means at that present moment in time, that doesn't happen. And he sort of looks around and then looks at you and goes, "Oh, Kit, I'm going to cook you." We'll flip to the panel of the other two. The water is now spraying out of the tripped over truck. Strikeout, if they were to hit you now, would probably be able to hit you both with a powerful blow and a single attack. But Nox, what are you doing? Valhammer, I think, is looking at this, and you can see him running towards a motorcycle.
I think that I'm going to try to entangle him in my shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to like reel him back in.
Cool. So it sounds like you're trying to reshape the environment here. So that will be unleashing your powers, but with a +2 on it.
Cool. That's 11.
Okay, I think you sort of see Valhammer jump onto the motorcycle, turn the engine, and he's about to gun it, and all of a sudden the motorcycle sort of zips off and crashes into a wall as he's sort of left standing, held there in Nox's shadowy tendrils, causing him to become afraid. Back at so yeah, the goons now are turning their attention on you, Quiver, the gangsters, and they're sort of coming in closely. They have, one of them seems to have a really high-tech looking energy pistol. And he says, "Don't worry, this thing don't hurt too much. It'll disintegrate you in a few seconds. You'll only scream a little bit. Don't move now." And what are you going to do, Quiver?
A couple of sessions ago, Quiver picked up this collapsible ballistic shield made for another superhero, and he like extends the ballistic shield and charges at the guy. And surprisingly, this shield has a lot of, and he's really hoping that the shield can take the blow. And yeah, and he's going to straight up charge the guy. He's not Captain America, but he's going to like shield bash this guy to hell.
Okay, so that means you can roll with mundane.
It's all collapsible. It's all the same for me, but yeah, I think it was cool to use it finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7, 8. It's an 8.
Is that including the +2?
Oh, so we still have +2, so then it's 10.
Yeah, it's forward, so it's not a one-off. It keeps going at the moment. So yeah, so it's a 10 on, and that would be a directly engaged threat. So you get to choose. Yeah, you get to choose 2.
So since I'm using this cool shield, I think I'm going to resist to resist their blows. Surprisingly, the material of the shield doesn't disintegrate under the shots from this pistol. And yeah, I think I'm going to frighten them, because probably all of the goons were expecting that Quiver will disintegrate, but it doesn't. The energy just seems to be dissipating over the shield. And as he comes close, he just like bash this guy with the shield. Probably he like flies off and lands on the set of the truck. And Quiver stands there and saying, "Oh, you were expecting me to be dead. Well, I'm not. And now it's your time."
To which, that's the final condition. We sort of see this panel of Quiver kicking ass and knocking down the last couple of thugs as others flee from the area. We flip back to Strikeout, who then looks at you, Dynamic, and what you've done. He says, "Forget this." And you can suddenly see the generators, and you can see the dials flip all over the room up into the red, and the generators look like he's trying to overload them.
I can't let that happen. Dynamic, like, you know what? What's the best way to do this? Is it to take him out and stop this, or would it be like, is it a case of I need to stop the? Why don't I assess the situation? Maybe
why don't you do that?
Do that. Oh, that one stayed at 11. Perfect. Now that we've got 10 pool in the team, we keep rolling 7s, or so it's pointless. Yeah. Cool. So 11.
You've got 2 questions, either from the list or something that you think is an appropriate question to ask me.
How could we best end this quickly?
You already know the answer to that, which is he is vulnerable to the water. So I won't charge you for that, because you may have forgotten that was asked by Jam, right? So the water, if you smash the water on him, that will do it. If you switch off the generators or take control of it, that's the other way that you can basically do it. But he's using that to amplify their powers at the moment. He'd be much less of a threat if you took control of that power set.
Okay. And what here can I use to get the water on him?
There is the already gushing water. The armored car with the water cannon spraying water all out, just about 20 meters away. You can
Well,
get the water that way, and bring it forward. Then you'll be all right.
yeah, well then I think Dynamic says, you know what? Unlike you, I've got more than one trick up my sleeve. And I'm going to use my magnetic powers to sweep the car, like over, so the water cannon now, like pull the water cannon so it just goes over onto
So
him.
that will be unleashing your powers.
Mm-hmm. I really should try moving my freak label up a bit more.
It could be time for the show. For about display of your powers, roll plus superior. This feels like a flamboyant.
No, yeah, you know what? Why not? Yeah, especially with that put down, like, oof, that's terrible. That's a 5.
You've got plus
Can I be
3
helped out?
forward. You've got plus 3
Oh,
forward
+3
at the
forward.
moment.
Oh yeah, I forgot. So that's an 8. You know what? I will just mark a condition afraid, because I am afraid. While all this has been going on, what's been happening to my home, kind of thing.
You sort of see. The water truck sort of knocks him off his feet, covering him in gouting water. The electricity shatters through him, screeches, and drops to the floor, smoking. The generators, though, are out, and they would need to be restarted. Valhammer is in your clutches, Nox, and they said, if you don't, he said, you think this is it? You think I'm going to go down that easy?
Yes, I do.
He goes,
Remember what Dynamic asked you to do as well.
said, you ain't the boss of me. I said, I might go down, but I'm going to take Dynamic's crib with me.
No, over my dead body, and I think that Jem is going to try to do a pretty solid punch to the head to knock him out.
Cool. Look, why don't you directly engage a threat?
Cool.
If you get a 10 plus, you can take something from them, which is stopping them from giving the order to blow up. Dynamics block. Jem, you still with us?
Okay. Am I back?
Yeah, you are. We can hear you.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Do we still have those 1 forward?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 1 forward?
2 forward.
2 forward. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Does someone want to help? Spend a point.
Yeah, I really wanted to do it. So seeing that Nox is engaging Valhammer, I think we see Quiver just like kneel down and aim with this arrow, and then he fire this arrow directly at Valhammer, and we see that just before the impact, the tip of the arrow turns into like a big red fist and just like pummels him.
Awesome. Now we have seen the boxing glove arrow, and we've jumped the shark. But it's an important green arrow trope. So that's enough. You can choose 2 from the directly engage a threat list, Nox.
Wonderful. I think that I am going to take something from them, and I am taking their consciousness. They are now passed out. And then I think that this is going to create an opportunity for my allies.
Cool. All right. You punch him. The arrow hits him. He drops his comlink and hasn't given the instruction. And as I say, all of a sudden it's all over. But the generators are still down.
I think this is the part where I take over.
Cool.
Okay, let's get the manuals up. Okay. Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to try and go through the restart process on the generators.
So you're using your gadgetry power to do that. So that would be an unleash your powers, please. So roll with freak, reminding you that you currently have. Actually, yeah, you still have +2 forward.
So that's a 7.
Cool. Are you marking a condition, or is this going to be unstable or temporary?
I'm going to mark a condition.
Cool.
Stupid goddamn thing. Why don't you just do what you're supposed to? Come on. And I think there's this whole Fonzie moment of banging it. And then suddenly the lights come on and the generators start to tick over.
And you start seeing lights coming back on across the Tri-Town and Village area.
Feels like there's time for a triumphant celebration, right?
I would think so.
Anyone fancy pizza?
Yes, with the one with the pineapple. But shouldn't we first go and save all the other people in town?
That was a joke. But
God
would you prefer me to say anyone fancy some shawarma?
Yeah. I knew where you were coming from.
I'm just really hungry.
We need to get these people to the police and locked up. Then we can see about the others.
Is the city still with the bombs? Are they all still ongoing, David? Is the situation?
Yeah, situation. I think over the coming hours, it takes still about most of the night to start dealing with the fires, the troubles, the rest of the goons, the looters on the streets, all that sort of stuff. It takes your rest of your night.
Valhammer's actually out, isn't he?
Yeah.
We captured him.
So I've got an idea. I'm going to go over, pick up the comms device he has, attach it to the actual little wrist thing I wear, and I'm going to try and actually spoof his voice for his crew to fall back to their fallback positions.
Grand. Well, that will be a.
I think that's. Are you watching closely?
Yep.
And that would be a 7. That's a 9. If anyone wants to actually give me a little bit of help, I think I'm having some trouble with the signal. Could anyone boost it?
Yeah, sure. I think like.
So I think there's there's a page of different cells with the different gang members involved in things, and there's little thought bubbles coming up, radio bubbles coming up, telling them all to fall back and to regroup.
Excellent. No problem. That is that is done, and it brings things to a close quicker and more straightforwardly. But as I say, there is, I think, the it does take most of the evening to bring everything back under control. So I think the following morning is probably where we find the team. It's been a long night, but the fires are out. Citizens are back in control of their streets. Damage has been done. Quite a lot of damage has been done. During the night, the Titans, or some of the Titans arrive, help with the fire control and getting people to safety, diffusing some more of the explosive devices around the area. But it is sort of a successful moment. And we see Peregrine from the Titans. Peregrine is a winged superhero, member of a superhero legacy, and the leader of the team. And she sort of everything is under control, and she's talking to Billingsby, and you're all
there, and she sort of says, "Who's in charge?"
I think I look to Sparky. You can talk to the captain.
Cute. You've done a good job. Well done.
Well, someone has to look after the small people, the little people, right?
Yeah, I think Quiver calls to Sparky, sit, and then fist bump. And Sparky leaves a little bit paused for the Peregrine to fist bump.
Yeah. So yes, she does fist bumps the dog and says, "Really cute." He said, she looks at you and said, "You've done a great job. We'll make sure that we help where we can. But it's clear that this is your neighborhood. We're not here because you've got it sorted." She extends her hand to you, Dynamic.
And Dynamic will just look around and say, "You're damn right." All on, I think, and that's when the newspaper, like the flash goes off on the anachronistic photographer who is nearby.
Yes, and say we have that moment with Juanita Sanchez reporting on the news that Triton's newest superhero team gets recognition from the Titans, and it's sort of the news stories will allow us to fade out into some softer scenes and some epilogue scenes to end this volume. Does anyone want to pick up with any direct character-to-character scenes?
I have one I'd like to set. So I think it's Izzy, but Izzy actually in civilian garb, as in not wearing the leather jacket and the things that she'd normally wear, and she's just in sweatshirt and pants, and walks up to Jem's door, Jem's front door, and knocks.
Yeah, I think Jem will probably come to the door. Hair going every which way. Ripped jeans, sweatshirt, the usual.
Hey up, you ready for pizza?
Yes. Pineapple?
Good. Oh God, what's with you and pineapple?
I love pineapple pizza with
Oh.
jalapenos.
Oh, it's yeah. Well, go half and half. How's that for a compromise?
Sounds
So
like a deal.
I think they cuts to the pizzeria later in the evening, and so you know what I was saying about law school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I signed up for college. Community college. I'm not going anywhere. But
Jem breathes a sigh of relief.
but no, I'm not going to be able to patrol every evening. I've got coursework to do.
No,
But
yeah, makes sense.
I've got something I want to ask.
What's up?
She takes out a key and puts it on the table and pushes it over towards Jem. I'm getting my own place. It's mighty lonely on my own. I figure with everything going on with you and your parents, you may want some breathing room.
Jem's gonna look at the key and then look up to Izzy and say, "Are you sure?"
Hey, I've got to have someone keep me out of trouble.
Very true. she kind of smiles as she takes up the key and kind of puts it around the necklace that she's wearing and says, "Yeah, you know, I think that I can make something like this work."
Right. Who's going to tell Kitty? And I think that's the point where we leave that that frame.
So let's
I would
pick
like
up. Oh
to
yeah,
say
go on.
maybe in the as the frame cuts across, you can see dynamic and a woman's figure like from the back, and dynamics in shades and like a thing, and he's like peering over the shoulder of the woman, and he's like, huh, kind of thing, and he's like, so Bluebird. And we're having pizza in the same place, but heavily incognito, and we don't see Bluebird's face because that would be, you know.
We'll leave that as a reveal for next time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's pick up off the back of that scene where Jem is getting home, and as you come into the house, you can hear Kitty shouting from the bathroom, going, "Jem, is that you?"
The one and only.
I think I need your help.
With what?
And she says, "The doors are locked. Come in."
What's going on?
You open the door, and Kitty's eyes and skin is glowing white, orange, with energy. And she goes, "What was it like when you got your powers?"
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Something like this. Not quite. What did you do?
I didn't do anything. It just started. This is so cool. Dynamic's definitely going to train me now.
No. I will train you. You will not go near Dynamic.
She looks towards her hand and she says, "I'm a superhero now. I'll do the damn things that I want to do."
Oh, God.
We'll turn the page on that one. Back, we are sort of walking through a laboratory, and there is, it is the Scarlet Lady. She is tapping through and looking at, and we can see various different laboratory experiments, people in vats, things going on, and she sort of takes a seat and pulls off the red helmet to be served from behind. The black cat that we have seen in some of the issues leaps up to the table and purrs. The cat looks at her and says, "Well, are we ready to move on to phase 2? "Yes," she says, and the camera all spins round, and we see that the blonde-haired woman is Ellen Kilgrove. Anyone else want to establish or do anything before we get into the final volume 2 stingers?
I did have an idea with Quiver, if you've got one. Though, Pavel, you obviously go first.
Yeah, I think back at Kilgore's house, we see that Cyrus moved back in from the hotel and everything, and we see Cyrus putting over the fireplace a casket, which is like named Zach Kilgore, and he takes a marker and he writes on it, "Goodbye, Dad. I hope you are proud of me. I hope you will be proud of me." And he puts the casket over the fireplace.
And we see a letter on the table to Quiver from the Titans inviting Quiver to join the Vanguard Initiative.
Perfect. That was what I was going to try and set up for the thing anyways. Was like Quiver's like, you know, moving up in the world kind of thing.
So Dynamic, your parents are sort of packing their last things into the U-Haul truck and are ready for their trip out of town. It said, we're going to miss you. Your mum is well recovered. She's on crutches, but it's like, you sure you don't want to come with us?
What would I do in Florida? You know, they got Gator Man down there. They've got all their superheroes covered.
Think of the oranges. You make sure you eat properly. And that don't mean getting one of those sandwiches every day. Vegetables.
There's vegetables in the sandwich, Mom.
That's not the same. You ask your auntie to make sure that you have a good meal, or I'll come and sort you out.
Yeah, okay, Mom. You take care, yeah? I'm going to miss this. Like, really? No, I am going to miss this. I'm going to miss the nagging, the someone watching me, the reminders to eat properly, to clean, the criticisms, yeah, it's going to be real, you know?
And your father just sort of nods, taps you on the shoulder and says, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
As the van pulls away, we see Juanita Sanchez standing behind you. She says, wow, emotional, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's where they've always wanted to go.
So she extends her hand and says, hi, I'm Juanita Sanchez. I'm recently taken over on one of the Hero News Network desks. I've got a proposition for you, coming out of this sort of self-made thing onto a mainstream show.
A mainstream show, you say? Well, you know, I hope you understand that I'm not a part of a package deal these days.
Says, I kind of get that, which is why I don't think you want the original offer, which is a 7-figure deal, but moving to New Hope City.
No. New Hope City? Union City for life.
I was kind of hoping you would say that. Said, kids, this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Well, I'll have let my guys speak to your guys. Hand over Jeff's card, laminated.
Cool. We see Chaos Monkey standing in the docks, the red bandana looking over the docks, and it's sort of then something comes out of the shadow and we see Sparky. And Sparky looks up at Chaos Monkey and says, and speaks and says, so, are we in a position where I can tell Quiver what's going on yet? And then the final sort of scenes of the comic, we see a strange wreck of a ruined alien spaceship. And within it, a figure that we have not been seen before. The spaceship and its wreck. The editor sort of points back and says, Secret Origins of Oriflame, issue 1. As we can see the spaceship and this figure in a sort of power armor and a long coat is sort of walking through the wreckage. They're not alone, they're with others. And it says, someone says, how did you know to find this place? And then the figure says, well, Oriflame told me before it all went to hell. and the figure takes off their mask and looks straight into the viewers' faces, and it is clearly a weathered and scarred and much older Quiver looking back at the audience. And we will close the back page to seeing the final pages of letters page, which is a dial-in vote for name Kitty Barges and her new superhero identity. And with that, we will draw to a conclusion, and our end of session moves for the final time in this volume. Let's go in character keeper order and ask this question one last time. Dynamic, did you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
I think I grew closer to the team. And I think it was you know what? I'm gonna say it was Nox for punching the hell out of Valhammer like I asked her to.
Does Nox have influence on you?
Yes.
Then Nox, you get to move dynamics labels.
Cool beans. I think that I'm going to move your superior up and your mundane down.
Okay.
Awesome. Nox, did you grow close to yourself, the team, into your image of yourself, or away from the team?
I think I grew closer to the team. I think that Quiver was the one that really that really helped Nox feel like they were supported as part of the team. I feel like Quiver really came through for her.
Cool. So, does Quiver have influence over you already?
Yes.
So, which of Nox's labels do you want to move, Quiver?
I think I want to move up Superior, because Nox is so cool. So move up Superior and move up Savior down. This will be interesting.
Cool. So then, Quiver, on to you. Do you go close to the team, do you own image yourself, or grow away from the team?
Yeah, Quiver definitely grew closer to the team. This team actions in pairs with Nox was really cool and interesting. So yeah, helping Nox save their parents and then cooperating on this power plant definitely grew closer together.
Sweet. Does Nox have influence on you?
Looks like she does.
Then you get to move some more labels. Nox.
All right. I think I'm going to move your freak up because you did some pretty funky work with the arrows this session, and I'm moving your mundane down.
Awesome.
Oriflan, did you grow close to the team, your own image, or away?
I think I grew closer to the team. While I think fighting alongside Dynamic has done a lot to actually help the relationship, I think actually moving in with Gem at the end is probably the thing that brings it closest in. So I think Jem in this instance for saying yes.
Grand. So everyone wants Knox to shift their labels today. I bet Lara feels special. Or put upon, one of the two.
All right. Let's see. I think I'm going to move your danger down and up your mundane.
Definitely. All right.
Okay. People can. Everyone clear any remaining conditions. Put your potential tracks back down to 0, and you'll get a move, a free advance, sorry, to recognize the time passing between now and volume 2, when we come back to that. If anyone wants to do anything like change their playbooks or anything like that, that is available as well. And I'm happy to open up some of the odder and weirder playbooks should people want to. So, for instance, if Quiver is happy to stay as a beacon, they definitely should. But there are, let's have a look at some of the mass playbooks here. There's one I'm thinking about because I've sort of foreshadowed poor Quiver having copy themselves from the future. So there's other playbooks if people want to think about those. Up to you the time we play next time. Look, let's just do the final row of stars, and let's see if there's anything that anyone is wants to sort of call out as their desires for next time in volume 2 that we haven't hit about themes that you would like to play. I'm going to do that in reverse character keeper order. So Gerwin, give us your stars.
Wow, quite a session again. I'll go by the order I see folk on the screen. Jem, Laura, I love the actual scene between you and your father and you throwing shade at them. That was just spot on perfect. It's a line that needed to be said and a line that was delivered brilliantly. Quiver. My God, all the different trick arrows this time. I love it. I love the fact that we're seeing it all come to the front now. And yeah, the boxing glove arrow, that is a classic of the genre. It's one of the most ridiculous arrows out there, but it has to be done at all points in one of the comics. So good on you for that. And Will, dynamic, my oldest frenemy. I was ready to have Oriflamme actually retire as a superhero going into Act 2, and it's only your interaction there and the actual fact that you stood up for that actually meant that I'm not doing that they are going to be an active hero.
And you're going to change characters, like?
No, I wasn't going to change characters, but in the time between, I was going to have Oriflamme step away, and you said exactly the right thing at exactly the right time, and thank you for that. And Dave, all the twists. We called it with one of the mothers being the red lady. We did have a little bit of a talk between the groups, asking, trying to figure out which one of them it was going to be. But this game has just been so much fun. This entire time, it's been the highlight of my week for each of the last 8 weeks that we've been playing. I'm so looking forward to season 2. It's unbelievable. I have so much hype.
Cool. Well, it was a stepmom and not a real, birth mum. I think we've had enough dad screwing you up during this arc. Let's go to Pablo. Yeah, it's next. Sorry. Any stars from?
Yeah, it was really cool to see everyone using superpowers. really nice to see all of them come. In general, the session was really good. I was kind of helping whenever I could over there. I really liked, yeah, pretty much everything about the session. So yeah, I really had fun.
Cool. Excellent. Lara?
So my cat is sitting on my notes. Okay, here we go. All right. No, I've literally enjoyed this so much. This is, yes, it just sets my entire week up so wonderfully and just puts me in such a good mood. And big love for this game. Let's see. Paul, I just love Quiver. He's just so cute, and like I just love all of his little catchphrases just so much. They just make the session every single time. You're a little like, all right, so what do I do? And I'm Quiver. You should be afraid. And I just think that it's so great. It's just such a superhero thing, and I love it. Let's see. Gerwin, I loved that moment of doubt where you were like, I'm going to become a lawyer, and now you're actually becoming a lawyer, and it's just so cool. I love seeing that character development, and I think it was just such a cool way to turn the character. Yeah, and then let's see, Will, just so good. Oh my gosh, I just really enjoyed everything with that. I love your interaction with Bluebird, and that's the sidekick bit, and just that end scene was just so great. Just really great stuff, and it just makes me really happy. And then just all the stuff with Jeff being your guy, it's so funny. And then Dave, oh my gosh, this is just so good, so good. I love how you're setting up all of these moments for these internal like conflicts with the heroes. I think that just really makes this so much more interesting and real, and makes these characters really come to life. And I just really appreciate you giving that opportunity to us. Yeah.
Awesome. And Will, last but not least.
So I've loved all of Nox's family shenanigans. Very much happy to see Cloak and Dagger appear in one family. And I've always like Quiver is always just like the heart of the team, you know, like and Oriflamme's. I like the whole, you know, definitely the one going through the most internal drama out of all of us. It's always great. I did really like the whole kind of idea that you would step away. I'm not, you know, now that you've killed someone after all of the big talk, it's kind of like hit home that it's more than that. You know what I mean? Like it's not as easy as just blowing up your enemies. It's like, and that was great. I think my big star though is David's the animals all having some sort of conspiracy this entire time.
Yeah, Lord Dappercat was set up as a villain way back in this arc, but I felt that actually I won't introduce him until Volume 2. Cool. Anything that anyone really wants to focus on or pick up in Volume 2?
Well, I definitely need to learn what is the story behind Sparky, and like that's. I just need to learn more about this. I'm like so surprised. Sparky talks? It would be so cool to talk to him.
Yeah, well, Sparky and Chaos Monkey and the conspiracy there will definitely need to come out, or I'll just keep foreshadowing it and it never makes it into the main pages of the comic, one of the two. I do want to pick up with the ramifications of Oriflamme's actions, because Oriflamme, one way or another, was deeply involved with lots of people dying, and I think that's something that needs dealing with. Obviously, Kitty coming into her powers and what that means for Jem and the team, and whether she can repair a relationship with her family. Into definitely, I think, Dynamics budding stardom, and whether or not he has a romance ongoing with Bluebird and what they are up to in the city as well, the sort of themes. And then say Scarlet Lady's actions and what she's up to need to come out as you get drawn further into the troubles and conspiracies in the city. Because it's going to be a closed group, I won't be putting access to anything. I was checking. I won't put this on calendar in October, November, but I will again remind people of the dates and reach out to you a couple of weeks before we start playing to make sure that we're still all okay. So it'll be the same slot every weekend in October and November, but I'm likely to have a week vacation holiday some point in November, so we'll probably lose one session, but I'll know closer to the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just if it goes on calendar and anyone drops out or anything, it becomes more difficult. That's one of the conversations I was having on the gauntlet this week. So that's the plan. Is that all okay?
That's fine.
Everyone?
There is.
Yes.
There is one thing I'd like to see in the background, well, at least in the background, if not in the foreground, in the game going forward.
Yep.
I'd like to actually see some alien refugees move into the area and the problems that they're having.
Alien refugees. I've got no problem with that. Does anyone else have any problem?
No problem at all. I have to say that going into this, mass neighborhood, I expected a grittier, more like Daredevil the TV show. My dynamic in my mind was like Luke Cage the TV show kind of thing. And I'm just saying that I'm happy with where we ended up. You know what I mean? Like the different tone and everything. Like I wasn't wed to that. It surprises me and delights me that we have shifted into one with running, alien refugees and sentient animals and like kid sidekicks and all of that kind of stuff, as well as the other things.
Yeah, there's plenty of gangsters with guns, but we've done gangsters with guns now, right? So it feels like almost as heroes, you don't want to retread that again because it will get a bit
one thing I thought, which I don't know, it may be too much with other arcs and everything, but perhaps the Titans and the Vanguard go missing in some sort of crisis sort of situation, and it's up to the Tri-Town Guardians to look after more than just their block, more than just their hood.
Yes, I exactly wanted to ask about this. Do we want to keep focus of the season 2 also down to the neighborhood, or do we want to enhance it to the city?
Or do
we want to go supernova to protect the world?
I don't think we're a protect the world team. I think fundamentally that we're a neighborhood based team. We're based in a very tight set and very local thing. We're never going to be a world spanning superhero team.
Yeah, it's not in volume 2, right?
Yeah. When it comes to the crossover with the Vanguard and the Sinister Kids or whatever they were called, and all the other settings, and yes, maybe, but
maybe not like an arc, but maybe like a thing where we fill that void. You know what I mean? Like called up to because there's nobody else there, sort of thing. It could be like one of those, just a bottle episode type events kind of stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd still probably base it around the neighborhood at the heart of things, but seeing other villains and other parts of the city makes sense to me as well. But I'll think about that in the coming months.
There was one thing that we didn't do in that last session that never really came about that I had hoped for, which was the Grey Ghost never dies, the symbol of the Tri-Town heroism living on in us kind of thing. But
hey, someone wants to take on the identity of the Grey Ghost, or maybe a new Grey Ghost will rise in Volume 2. There's a fair chance that such things may happen.
Well, there's three people descended from the Grey Ghost. There's no need for us all to wear the mask at the same time.
Yeah, or someone, there's potentially a very good chance that someone will put on the Grey Ghost's mask in Volume 2 if it's not one of you folks. But that's cool. All right, it's been a delight for me as well. I have loved twists and turns, messing with your worlds, confronting your characters with choices, which I think is a really important part of masks, and potentially making the bad choices, all the good choices, but choices none the last. But I will see you in October for this if I don't see or play with you between now and then.
Yeah.